been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. I've been sleeping in my bed. So show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I went wrong, but I can write a song. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart.
Well, good afternoon everyone, and a very warm welcome to West Tower Hotel for the marriage of Stephen and Nicola. I'm sure it means a great deal to them both that you're all here today to witness their marriage and to share with them in this happy occasion. My name's Brenda, I'm going to be performing the ceremony, and our registrar is Helen, Helen will be recording the details into the register to provide a record for all time. And through the vows that they make today, Stephen and Nicola are pledging themselves to each other for the years ahead, believing that whatever life may hold for them, they will share through the strength that their marriage will bring. And Stephen and Nicola, today you will exchange vows which will unite you as husband and wife. Now the words are a formal and public pledge of your love and a promise of a lifelong commitment to each other. And I'm sure everyone here wishes you every joy and happiness on this very special day, your wedding day. I'm legally required to state that this place in which we are met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages. You are here today to witness the joining in matrimony of Stephen David Carter and Nicola Duncalf. If there is any person present who knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, they should declare it now. Oh, I'm very well behaved, you didn't even get a cough. Before we continue with the ceremony, we're going to have our first reading. I'm going to ask Laura to come forward, please, and she's going to read On Your Wedding Day.
On your wedding day. Today is a day you will always remember, the greatest in anyone's life. You'll start off the day just two people in love and end it as husband and wife. It's a brand new... Sorry. It's someone else will do it. It's a brand new beginning, the start of a journey, with moments to cherish and treasure. Sorry. I didn't think I'd make that. It's going to take me an hour to get it. And although there'll be times when you both disagree, these will surely be outweighed by pleasure. You'll have heard many words of advice in the past when the secrets of marriage were spoken, but you know that the answers lie hidden inside, where the bond of true love lies unbroken. So happy forever as lovers and friends, it's the dawn of a new life for you, as you stand there together with love in your eyes from the moment you whisper, I do. And with luck all your hopes and dreams can be real. May success find its way to your hearts. Tomorrow can bring you the greatest of joys, but today is the day it all starts.
That's what weddings are all about, isn't it?
We're all emotional, aren't we?
Okay. So before you joined in matrimony, I have to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows that you're about to make. Marriage, according to the law of this country, is the union of two people, voluntarily entered into for life, to the exclusion of all others. And I'm now going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you do not know of any lawful reason why you should not be married to each other. So I'm going to ask you to repeat after me first, please, Stephen. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, Stephen.
Why I, Stephen.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Nicola.
To Nicola.
I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know not.
That I know not.
Of any lawful impediment.
Of any lawful impediment.
Why I, Nicola.
Why I, Nicola.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Stephen.
To Stephen.
Now, one of the most privileged roles at a wedding is to present the bride. So to formally acknowledge this role, I'm going to ask who gives Nicola to be married to Stephen.
I do.
Right, would you like to just drop hands? I would just like to pass home.
Thank you.
That's lovely. And pass Nicola's right hand over to Stephen. That's lovely, thank you. Thank you very much.
How do you get that?
So you can answer I will to this question, Stephen. Stephen, will you take Nicola to be your lawful wedded wife? Will you love, respect and care for her?
I will.
And Nicola, will you take Stephen to be your lawful wedded husband? Will you love, respect and care for him?
I will.
And so the solemn moment has come for Stephen and Nicola to contract their marriage before you, their witnesses. I'm going to get you to face each other. You can still hold hands for a bit of support. And then again, Stephen, I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I call upon these persons.
I call upon these persons.
Here present.
Here present.
To witness that I.
To witness that I.
Stephen David Carter.
Stephen David Carter.
Do take thee.
Do take thee.
Nicola Duncart.
Nicola Duncart.
To be my lawful wedded wife.
To be my lawful wedded wife.
And now, Nicola. I call upon these persons.
I call upon these persons.
Here present.
Here present.
To witness that I.
To witness that I.
Nicola Duncart.
Nicola Duncart.
Do take thee.
Do take thee.
Stephen David Carter.
Stephen David Carter.
To be my lawful wedded
To
husband.
be my lawful wedded husband.
And you've chosen to say some promises to each other. So Stephen, it's you again first, please. Nicola, today I stand by you.
Nicola, today I stand by you.
Happy and proud.
Happy and proud.
Of the special love.
Of the special love.
We have for each other.
We have for each other.
Today we celebrate.
Today we celebrate.
All that lies ahead.
All that lies ahead.
I promise to love, cherish and respect
I
you.
promise to love, cherish and respect you.
All the days of my life.
All the days of my life.
I pledge to you faithfulness and friendship.
I pledge to you faithfulness and friendship.
In good times and bad.
In good times and in bad.
From this day onwards.
From this day onwards.
And now, Nicola, your promise to Stephen. Stephen, I promise.
Stephen, I promise.
To give you my love and friendship.
To give you my love and friendship.
To be there for you.
To be there for you.
When you need me most.
When you need me most.
To laugh and cry with you.
To laugh and cry with you.
To trust and confide in you.
To trust and confide in you.
To comfort and support you.
To comfort and support you.
And all that I have.
And all that I have.
I share with you.
I share with you.
I promise to respect you.
Promise to respect you.
And be faithful always.
And be faithful always.
These promises I make to you.
These promises I make to you.
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of my life.
Well done. I think you deserve a break now. We're going to have our second reading, and I'm going to ask Kate to come forward and she's going to read the one.
The one. When the one whose hands you're holding is the one who holds your heart. When the one whose eyes that you gaze into gives your hopes and dreams their start. When the one you think of first and last is the one that holds you tight. And the things that you plan together make the whole world seem just right. When the one who you believe in puts their faith and trust in you, you found the one and the only love you'll share your whole life through.
Thank you very much. So we've now come to the exchange of rings, and this is the traditional way of sealing the vows that you have both just made. Now your wedding ring is an unbroken circle, and it symbolises everlasting love, and it's an outward sign of the lifelong promises that you have just made to each other. So wear your rings with love and pride now and always. And I'm going to ask our Tony to come forward, please. Best man. And we want the ring for Nicola first, please. So Stephen, would you like to take that and place it on the third finger of the left hand? And hold it there and say these words. Nicola, I give you this ring.
Nicola, I give you this ring.
In celebration of my love for you.
In celebration of my love for you.
And as a pledge to respect you.
And as a pledge to respect you.
And to grow with you.
And to grow with you.
For the whole of my life.
For the whole of my life.
Okay, so all the way down. Okay, so. And then Nicola, would you like to take the ring for Stephen?
Thank you.
Place it again on the third finger of his left hand and hold it there and say these words. Stephen, I give you this ring.
Stephen, I give you this ring.
As a symbol of my love and affection.
As a symbol of my love and affection.
And in recognition.
And in recognition.
Of our shared life together.
Of our shared life together.
Wear this ring.
Wear this ring.
With a feeling of love and joy.
With a feeling of love and joy.
I choose you to be my husband.
I choose you to be my husband.
This day.
This
and
day.
Every day.
And every day.
Okay, thank you very much. Now the purpose of marriage is that you may always love, care and support each other through all the joys and sorrows of life, and that love may be fulfilled in a relationship of permanent and continuing commitment, and we trust that these things come true for you both. So Stephen and Nicola, you've both made the declarations prescribed by law, and you have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your witnesses, family and friends. And having symbolised your marriage by the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of a ring, it's now my privilege and pleasure to tell you you are legally joined as husband and wife. Congratulations.
So, Stephen, if you can sign for me, just in your signature, just on that one.
On the top.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony this afternoon, but I'm sure it's only the start of your celebrations. So as the bride and groom take their first steps together as husband and wife, can I ask you all please to stand and give Mrs. Carter a round of applause.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to West Tower Country House Hotel on this wonderful occasion, the marriage of Nicola and Stephen. So now, without further ado, can I ask you all to please be upstanding to receive the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Carter.
John.
Thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it is now time to commence with speeches. So first of all, can I ask you all to please pray silence for the father of our bride, John.
We'll just wait for Matt to take his place.
And Alex.
And Alex.
And Alex.
Sort it out, sunshine.
Well, firstly, I'd like to welcome you all on this auspicious occasion, the wedding, obviously, of Nicola and Stephen. What a marvellous day, and a very exciting day, especially for you Liverpool fans, when they won 3-2. And I know some of you have travelled quite long distances. Nicola's sister Amanda and her family have come from Canada to be with us. I know Steve's got some friends from the US, from New York. I'm from Ireland and the rest of the UK, and I'd just like to thank you all for being here very much. But also I'd like to think of those who couldn't be here today. Steve was talking to his best mate Dave before, and unfortunately he couldn't be with us. And various other people who, for various reasons, couldn't be with us, and those who are now departed who would love to have been here. So I'd like you to charge your glasses and raise the first toast to absent family and friends. So I thought about my speech and I thought about what I can say in terms of Nicola's life in particular, and the early years spring to mind. What was important to Nicola during her early years in life? Well, her pets were probably quite important to her. We had a menagerie of various animals throughout the house. Dogs, cats, rabbits, fish, various things. And there were a couple of them in particular. There was a cat called Smudge that loved to chew things. It would chew through wires, electrical wires, you name it. But it particularly liked chewing through Barbie's feet.
Oh yeah, that's Barbie.
And Nicola and her sister Laura had lots of Barbies. So you can picture a room full of Barbies with stubs as feet. Yeah, it wasn't particularly pleasant. Thanks for that one, Fred. We also had, in particular, a mad catfish that lived with us. And it lived in the fish tank, but it loved to jump out of the tank. We had a lid on the tank, but it managed to push its way out of the tank onto the floor. And we used to find it, didn't we, many a time, on the floor. Unfortunately, one particular time, it went too far and it perished. That wasn't a happy ending story in that particular fish's life. Nikki was quite creative when she was young. She used to love going to her nan's on a Sunday. We used to enjoy going there. And her nan's dinners. And her and her cousins used to find lots of creative ways of getting rid of her dinners. The toilet springs to mind in terms of one of the directions that it used to go. And it varied really in terms of where it went. Nikki also had quite a competitive streak, I think, when she was young. She used to play snooker, and she loved nothing better than coming to my dad's with me and playing snooker on the snooker table he had. I think that was a precursor for the pool playing that she had when she was a teenager and hustling various people in the Stand and Arms, or the Slack as it were, in Heswell on the Wirral. We had some great holidays when Nicola was young. We went to Greece and Spain and the usual places. But we also went to America in 1994, and I've always been reminded ever since, by Nikki in particular, of the Grand Canyon footage that I took that lasted over an hour and bored her to death.
4 hours.
4 hours?
4 hours.
Oh, there we go. It was even longer.
Take a picture. That would have been fine.
Now, during her teenage years, certainly her early teenage years, she used to love certain types of music. It started off with things like PJ and Duncan. Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Who can forget that one? Also, Peter Andre and Mysterious Girl. Is that the right?
You got the acting.
And also Take That. And who can forget Take That?
Fun still.
So Nick was a very sociable girl, extremely sociable. She had lots of friends in school and lots of friends in general. And she liked dancing, she liked going to clubs. The Chelsea Reach springs to mind. But Nikki also moved from her school years into a career. And she started off in Wirral Glazing, where she worked as an assistant for a good 3 years or so. And she enjoyed that job, but she wanted to sort of progress into other things, and she moved on to working in a nursery in Irby on the Wirral. And she enjoyed that. Again, she worked there for probably 3 to 4 years. 5 possibly, because she always wanted to work with children. She said she wanted to be a midwife when she was a youngster. And we always knew she had a scientific mind, because when she was about probably 6 or 7, she took a hen's egg from the fridge in our house, wrapped it in a blanket, and then put it in her doll's cot and waited for it to hatch. Suffice to say, that never happened. She moved on then to work at Arrow Park on the Wirral. She went along to an interview. She was a nursery nurse. She went along and said, I want to be a biomedical scientist. And she got a job in Arrow Park, which she did very well at. She then got onto a course and was able to complete a BSc in honours in biomedical science, which we're very proud of, which we did whilst we were working. She then went on to the Royal in Liverpool, where she's been working ever since for the past 4 or 5 years. And going back in time a little bit, she actually met Steve while she was working at Arrow Park. And she introduced us to Steve in 2006, I think at the Matthew Street Festival, if you remember rightly. Steve came strutting up to us like this. He had his head shaved in those days. He came up and I said to him, introduced ourselves, I said, what are you having to drink? And he said, I'll have a cheeky Stella. A few cheeky Stellas later, and Steve was telling me about what he did for a living, and it was extremely interesting, but he started to talk to me about stem cell research, and I've got to confess to you, Steve, I had no idea what you were talking about.
I tell you, I'll talk to Dr. Donahue over there if you need any pointers nowadays.
But I realised what an intelligent, positive and passionate young man Steve was at that point, in terms of what he did for a living.
He did you too.
He said he'd pay me later.
They hated him.
And I think overall that Steve and Nikki really complement each other. I think they're a very competitive couple, as we will all know. Anybody who's played SingStar, Pictionary and Trivial Pursuit in their house will know. But you know what? They've had some legendary parties in their place, and we've always had a warm and generous welcome, every single one of us. Now I'm supposed to give a bit of advice to Steve. My advice would be, listen to instructions carefully, or if not, pretend that you've temporarily gone deaf or misunderstood the original request.
You are a master at that.
But whatever you do, never say that you've heard what you were told, or you'll be asked to repeat it. And remember, Groucho Marx once said, marriage is a wonderful institution, but who wants to live in an institution? And at that point, I'd like you to raise your glasses again to the bride and groom. And that's it.
Over now.
Well now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the man of the moment, our groom Stephen.
Are we on? Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, after almost 8 years, I can finally say my wife and I would like to thank you all for coming here to share this very special day with us. At this moment, I'd like to thank the Red Men for giving us 3 points today as well. But seriously, a lot of you have travelled an awful long way to be here today, and it really is appreciated. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank you all for all the lovely gifts. Thanks to John for his kind words. In fact, thanks to Anne and John and all the Nicky's family really for being so kind and welcoming me into their family. I'd like to say thank you to my family as well, especially my mum and dad, for always being there for me. Gaff, thanks for everything. You know, you've always been so kind and generous. I know you're probably fed up of us banging on about weddings constantly for the last 12 months, but it finishes today, I assure you.
Till the next one.
Well, yeah. My mum, unfortunately, she is no longer with us. I miss her every day. She'd have loved today, I assure you of that. I would like to say thank you to the bridesmaids. Nicky and I would like to both thank the bridesmaids. They all look lovely. They've done a great job today, the young uns and the oldies. So, here's to the bridesmaids. Thank you.
All the young bridesmaids.
Yes. I'd like to say thanks to Claire and Alex for sorting out all of our favours, and for Laura and Dave for bringing them all the way up from that London. Need to say thank you to my little ushers, wherever they are. There they are over there hiding behind Kay. They've come all the way from Canada to be here today. Yeah, indeed, and they've done a great job keeping out all the riffraff. Almost all the riffraff. Yes, thank you. Also like to say thank you to my big brother Tony, wherever he is, hiding at the back over there, for always looking after me, not just today, and for at least attempting to keep me calm. Or have I been keeping you calm today? I think there's probably been a little bit of both. All right, well, thank you very much anyway. Now, to Nicola, my beautiful bride. You look amazing today. You look amazing all the time, but it's been great today, absolutely unbelievable. I know I've played my vital role in the planning and preparation for today, but seriously, everything has been down to you. It has been unbelievable. All the effort and attention to detail, it's absolutely been incredible, and you deserve all the credit. It's been unbelievable. I knew there was something special about Nicky the first time I ever met her, but that wasn't the first time I'd laid eyes on her. I'd briefly caught a glimpse of her while she was waiting for the interview in our place. I'd just seen her through the window, and I think I ran straight round to the people who were doing the interview and I said, "Will you please hire a fit one?" Well, now, fortunately for me, they did, and it's amazing to think that my life changed from that moment on, really. You know, I mean, the rest, as they say, is history. Thank you all for coming once again. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I would like to finish by telling you this. My dad has been giving me advice my whole life. He still does, whether I want it or not, you know. Well, I mean, most of it I have chosen to completely ignore, right? But there was one thing he said to me, I remember it like it was yesterday. He's probably forgotten he told me this, but it's always stuck with me. He said, "Steve, when you get married, make sure you find a good one." And in Nicky, I know that I have. She is the most caring, thoughtful and kindest person I know. I love you more than anything, and I hope you realise you've made me the happiest man in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please be upstanding? To the new Mrs. C, to my wife, my beautiful bride, to Nikki.
Mrs. C.
And now, I was going to hand you over to Tony, who was going to tell you to pack a lines, but apparently my art fellow wants to say a few words.
I'm sorry if this is not particularly well prepared. I've not even looked at the internet to see what you're supposed to say in these situations, but I jotted just a few ideas down because I thought maybe I might be asked to do this later on, and I'm actually delighted to do it. First thought is top of the table and top table, yeah! 2 in 1. So I mean that is just actually put an actual.
What a lovely day.
Top house on everything. It has been a lovely, lovely day.
Could have been a few miserable faces around otherwise.
I think there are a few blue noses skulking in corners.
No, they're chuffed as well.
Yeah. Now let's be serious. Serious. So, when I thought about what I might say, I thought I might think about things in 3 particular eras: the past, the present, and the future. In the past, I enjoyed 40 absolutely wonderful years of marriage, and when they talk about marriage bliss, it was married bliss when I look back on it. And I had the pleasure and the privilege of bringing up Stephen and Anthony, who both wonderful, wonderful sons to me. I was blessed with them despite the trials, the tribulations, the baby bit, the childhood bit, the bloody adolescent teenage bit, all that. But after all that, I ended up here today with 2 lads who I'm totally and utterly proud of. Then I look at the present and to see what the present things, and I've seen 2 young men, both settled in their jobs, both reasonably responsible, within limit, reasonably responsible in meaningful jobs. And when I say meaningful, I mean jobs where the end product is the care of people, the benefit of other human beings is the end product of what they do. That is their ultimate goal. And I see 2 young men and I'm proud of it, they've striven to improve the qualification and bring themselves into this position, and they're now settled and matured. And as a parent, that is the greatest satisfaction in life. I mean, some of you younger people, I hope you get there and you can look back like I do and say, they're my kids, I've done the job. Isn't that great? You know, and it really is. It really is. I look at my life and I see Anthony has found himself an absolute diamond in Joanne. An absolute diamond. And their happiness together is an enormous source of pleasure to me, and it would have been so if my Maureen was still here to see how things had developed. And I look at Claudia, I think what a little princess we've got there. Absolutely wonderful. A credit to both of her parents. And then I'm grateful I've got Suzanne now at my side, a wonderful companion. We spend time together. We love each other, we're fond of each other, and she's helped me through when times have got a bit rough. But that's the past, that's the present. What about the future? Well, Stephen met Nikki in Arrow Park, and if I'd mentioned Joanne as a diamond, I think Stephen found an absolute gem in Nikki. She is a delight. If you only need to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes in their company to see the love they express for each other, the respect they've got to each other, the pleasure they get from each other's company, and the joy they've got. So to me, this is a natural development of the way things should go. Nikki, I've welcomed my son Stephen into the family. I mean, he's one of them. They're all a bit loopy, but it suits because Stephen has a loopy streak anyway. So they're all very happy in each other's company. No, but I do thank John and Anne and your family for being so welcome to Stephen. You have been a joy to meet and to be involved with. So I thinking, looking round, I did say to one or few people, us Carters we're totally outnumbered. If a fight breaks out, go for the fields, straight over to Formby, and we'll reconnoitre over and regather over that way. But Nikki, I'm delighted to welcome you as a Carter. Yeah, you're one of those. So I'm delighted that as Stephen has been welcomed into your family, I welcome you into our smaller family, and the fact that you've taken our name is wonderful.
Coaching numbers now.
I'm coaching numbers now. Right, but so just to finish, I do wish you both enormous joy and happiness. If you derive the sort of happiness I've had out of my life, if you get half of that, you're going to be blessed and fortunate. And I wish you all the very, very best for the future, both of you.
In case anyone still isn't sure, I'm Tony, Steve's brother. Now, I know those of you who haven't met us before will be thinking, the family resemblance, it's absolutely uncanny. We're like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in Twins, and we all know which one's Danny DeVito. I hope you're all looking that way. I'd like to thank John and Steve for saying most of the things I've got written on these cards, so I might as well chuck them away, so I'm winging it from here on in. I think everyone would agree that Nikki looks fantastic today. Yeah. And I know how much hard work she's put in behind the scenes to make sure that we all have a fantastic day. Steve played his part. He came down here and tasted every bottle of wine and every bottle of fizz and every bit of food, but I think that's about it for his contribution. But well done, Steve. Thanks very much. Thanks for that. I've never had the honour of being a best man before, and I have to admit, I was quite surprised to be asked, as Steve's got so many good friends, many of whom are here today. They're not to be trusted. Well, when he said to me, you'll have to do it, I can't ask any of these muppets, I'm sure he was just joking. I'm sure. You were joking, right? So after he asked me, I did what most blokes do, panicked. Then after I'd panicked, I went to the internet and had a look to see what sort of things a best man's supposed to do. And there seemed to be 3 main rules. Rule 1, don't upset the bride. So hopefully I'm sticking with that one so far. Rule number 2, keep everybody on your side. I'll come back to that one in a minute. I've got a little plan for that one. And number 3, get a laugh at the groom's expense. So I thought long and hard about how I could achieve number 3 without breaking number 1. Now, Steve spent most of his adult life with these guys here, so they've got all the good stories. So if you buy him a beer at the bar later, I'm sure they'll share some with you. But from my point of view, I thought, I'm going to have to go back to our childhood days. And with that in mind, I've put together a little video. It's not like one of Steve's golf shots, it's not very long. It's not necessarily that accurate either. But hopefully it might at least raise a smile. And if the technology works, and you can actually see it because it's a little bit dark on there, hopefully we can at least have a smile at Steve through the years. So nice.
What's doing with me Christmas?
Big plaque with a truck.
And tell Daddy, who's your best friend?
There's a small gift for Steve. It's not a wedding gift, it's more of a little joke. I think Joanne's going to retrieve it. You can open it now. It took me a long time to find this.
Oh, is it? Is that what it is?
It's about 30 years too late. Come on, you've got to hold it up. It's an original 1980s. So all that's got left is a toast, and I'd like to raise it to a few people, so if you could all stand up, please. I'd like to toast the parents of the bride and groom for doing such a great job in making them the people they are. I'd like to toast absent friends, you the guests, and most importantly of all, Mr. and Mrs. Carter. Oh, before I forget, rule number 2, keep everyone on your side. We've also got some envelopes that Joanne's going to pass around, and I've bought everyone a lottery ticket. So hopefully, if you didn't like the speech, you might at least win some money.
You light the skies up above me. A star so bright, you blind me, yeah. Don't close your eyes, don't fade away, don't fade away. Oh, yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. You won't break down, I will comfort you. If angels cry, oh, I'll be there for you. You've saved my soul, don't leave me down, don't leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, will you welcome Mr. and Mrs. Carter? Mrs. Carter, ladies and gents. Steve? Let me tell you something. You, look at me in the eyes. You are not the only man in this lovely lady's life.
No, I know.
Guys, it's true, there's somebody else with us this evening that loves Nikki just as much as Steve does.
Not possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki's stepdad, John.
Yeah.
Monday the 13th of April 2014, the day that Steve and Nicky became Mr. and Mrs. Carter.
Tonight